Hello everybody, it's Miss Hope. I haven't seen you guys in a long time, but I hope you're still watching art videos and drawing and creating and making fun things at home. So today what we're going to be learning about is a kind of like a carry-on from the last lesson that we did, which was ellipses. Do you remember doing those series of ellipses, the ovals, and then we connected all of them and made really cool tubes? Well, today we're going to be doing something kind of like that, building off of that skill and continuing on with our learning of technique. So what we're going to be doing today is drawing. So all you need is a pencil, an eraser, and a piece of paper. Okay, go get those things, meet me back here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using imagination, not so much what we see in front of us, but what we think and what we imagine in our minds. Okay, so this is where your critical thinking, your creativity, all works together with your technical skills of drawing. Okay, so you can't do anything wrong with this because you're just using your imagination. So even if something doesn't look realistic, I know you guys like to make things look real a lot of times, but sometimes it's important to just kind of play and make mistakes and see where things end up. And you actually learn a lot more from making mistakes and not erasing. That's why last time I had you guys leave out the erasers until the very, very end. So the same thing with this time. I want you to just really practice on not erasing. Not at first anyway. You can always go back and erase stuff later. But, think about it like this. When you make a mistake, you erase it, right? And then you try to put the line where you meant it to go or you wanted it to go, and then it doesn't look right there either, so you erase it again. What about if you just left the mistakes there and kind of used them as guidelines to work around to, like, oh, okay, I don't want my line there, but I see where I do want it, and I'm gonna move it away from the mistake line, but leave the mistake line there because it helps kind of work as a guide. Okay, so try to think about that. Try to let go of needing to make this look perfect, because after all, nobody's going to see this right now, and you're in the learning phase, so that's really what's more important right now, is just to learn and learn properly. Okay, so grab your pencils, grab your erasers and your piece of paper, and we're gonna go down here to the overhead camera. All right, so here's my white sheet of paper. So just as a refresher, we're gonna just do some practice ellipses, because I want you guys to kind of remember, we start out with the C's, right? And then we close the C's. See how I've made some mistakes already? And I'm going to make a wider one right there, and then a wider one right there. And I'm going to come back in with a smaller or narrower. Okay, so now I'm going to close my ellipses. All right, you guys can draw along with me and follow what I'm doing. If I go too fast, pause me. All right, and now what do we do? Do you remember? We connect these using diagonal lines. Okay, so cool. Then I kind of like the way it looks with these ellipses inside, but now at this point, if you wanted to erase those lines in there so you didn't see them and color that in, you could do that, or you could just leave those lines right in there, and then you can work on some shading. I just use the side of my pencil, and I kind of go zip, 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 zip like this. We're going to be getting ready to make a fruit bowl in a second. No fruit required. You don't have to get anything to look at. Everybody knows what a fruit bowl looks like, right? You've all seen fruit in a bowl before. Okay, so there. So now I can leave it like that, kind of leave it like raw looking, or I could use my finger and kind of blend, or if you've got a blending stick. Next time I'll try to remember to have a blending stick here so you can extend that out. See, my finger gets dirty from blending, but you kind of smudge that pencil line. And then here, this is called cross-hatching. When your lines went one direction and then you go back over them in the opposite direction, it's called cross-hatching. Or if you go over diagonally, it's called, I'll show you a little bit of a cross-section. So this is hatching. This is cross-hatching. So it looks like a bunch of little X's, and I'll put this up closer so you can see. All right, you see the cross-hatch? Cross-hatch. The hatch goes one way, and then the cross hatch goes the opposite. Okay? All right, so we've practiced our ellipses, just kind of freshen your memory up a little bit from the last time. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on the fruit bowl. Now this is called a cylinder. So what you're going to do is you're going to make an ellipse. You know, leave yourself some space at the top, so don't put it all the way at the edge of the top of the paper. Okay? And go ahead and close your ellipse. That gives you an idea. Okay, you see how big that is? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center, and I'm going to make a little circle, and I'm going to draw a line. Okay? And this down here, this is going to be the center of my bottom ellipse, which is going to be smaller because it's, imagine a bowl. Okay, a bowl kind of slopes down like that or around like that. Go like that with your hands. Imagine the shape of a bowl. Okay? So as you get better at these ellipses, this is going to be so much more fun and easy for you to draw these. I probably should have made that a little bit wider. Actually, I'm going to. I want to make a wide bowl. See, I'm leaving my mistakes because I want to remember that's not where my mistakes help guide me to where I don't want to go. All right, so then I'm going to finish my bowl out with a diagonal. A rounded diagonal, I should say. Okay. There's my bowl. All right. And I'm going to leave all my mistakes there. Now I'm going to imagine what a bowl of fruit would look like. Okay, now this part here, this middle section of the bowl, you're not going to see inside of it, so you don't have to worry about what's in there. If it helps you to draw it in there, or you want to pretend that that's a clear bowl, go ahead, do it. But I'm going to just make it a little easier for myself, and I'm going to imagine that it's a painted bowl, or it's got some kind of design on it, and you can't see inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to think about what kind of fruits do I want. Well, apples and oranges are easy to draw because they're round, and that shape is pretty simple. So I'm going to go and do a bunch of round shapes. There's an apple. And something's going to be behind the apple, so I'm not going to finish off the apple just yet. Maybe an orange. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my stem on the apple. Oops, I lost some of my lead. Please don't let that be the end of my lead pencil. Here it goes. Okay. Alright. And then over here, let's say, how about some grapes? Grapes are easy, they're little circles. So yeah, I left my mistake there. It looks kind of messy, but that's okay. It'll all get covered up later if I want to use color. So I'm going to pretend half my grapes are hanging out of my bowl. Half of them are hanging down on the side of the bowl. And you shouldn't really need to look at anything for this, but if you need to, go pop in the refrigerator, see if there's anything in there to inspire you. So this is not on the inside of the bowl. This is hanging on the outside of the bowl. So my grapes that are hanging on the inside of the bowl, I can't see all of them because they're kind of sloped in, and the other part is hanging out the side. All right, and then over here I'm going to do, what other kind? How about a banana? We're banana fans in my house here. Bunch of bananas. We're a bunch of bananas in my house. And then let's just say, let me look over it. Think about this for a second. I'm going to do one more apple. There's my stem, there's my leaf. Okay? All right, so now I've got my fruit. Cool. That's pretty much it, guys. That's it. So now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to take my eraser. At the end, I've completed my drawing, so I can go ahead and erase now. I don't want this line. I'm going to go fix that up. I don't want that line going through my orange. If you don't erase perfectly, or for some reason your pencil is not really erasing very well, that's okay. Guess what? Go grab some colors, and now you can add some color to your fruit bowl. My bananas are not see-through either, so I'm erasing that line. My grapes are going to be a little bit more challenging to do. So I'm not even going to worry. Guess what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not going to do extra work. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my pencil because I don't have my colored pencils right in front of me. I wanted to keep this simple. I know some of you don't have supplies, or you have a limited amount. So I wanted to just keep it real simple. All you need is a pencil and paper. The great artists in the past didn't have Michaels to go to, so they just used what they had. And keep that in mind, okay? You don't need a lot to create something amazing. Okay, now oranges have like that little dimpled skin. I'm just using my pencil to kind of peck at the paper. See, I'll put this up close so you guys can see. See, just kind of peck, peck, peck at the paper for oranges. All right, and you just kind of play around with the pencil until you get it where you like it. My bananas have a little bit of a dark top there at the stem part. Oh, here's this line here. I want to get rid of this line for the middle. This was my guideline to help me keep focused on where the middle was. And now I could even erase this too, because remember, we don't see inside the bowl unless you made it a clear bowl. I don't need that anymore. Okay, cool. We've got a fruit bowl. Look at that. Check that out, guys. We made a fruit bowl. Nice. All right. Now, the next thing I want to show you guys, and then we're done for this lesson, is still using the ellipse. Sorry, not eclipse, but the ellipse. You're going to go ahead and you're going to make a teapot. We're going to do a little teapot. I'm going to show you how to put a spout and a handle. All right, so we're going to do, now your teapot, here's where you can really get imaginative. You can do this however you like. Just, you know, think about a teapot. But this time, instead of making all ellipses, what you're going to do is you're going to make like smiles. So part of your ellipse. You're not going to do the whole ellipse. You don't need to. And I'll show you why. We're going to connect these, so it's kind of, we're shortcutting a little bit. Again, as your skill level increases, you can start to learn some of the shortcuts. I'm going to keep my teapot like that for right now, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close off my ellipse up here. Now this doesn't look much like a teapot, does it? Nope, not yet. But here's how we're going to make this more teapotty looking, a little bit more fun. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pretend that this is the top of my tea kettle. Okay, so I'm going to put little top, okay? And now I'm going to show you guys how to make a handle. There's a couple different ways to do handles. I'm going to do 2 of them for you. I'm going to do I'm going to do one right here and one right here, even though that's not really, not a handle, I'm sorry, a spout. I'm going to do one spout here and one spout here, 2 different kinds so that you can see the difference. Or I may change my mind, I may erase it and do something different, but I'll walk you through it, okay? So here's the first kind of handle. I mean, why do I keep saying handle? I'm sorry. First kind of spout. So we're going to do just a triangle, okay? All I need is these 2 lines because this already has a line there from the teapot. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 3rd triangle, kind of angle it down like that to make it look like a spout. Okay, so imagine this is where you pour the water out of, right? And then I can just do some quick little cross hatching to give it some shade. And I think on the, you know what I think I'll do? I think on this side I'll show you how to do the other kind of spout. So this spout, a little different. You're going to draw an oval right there on the teapot, and then another oval out here, about the same size. And all you're going to do is connect them like a tube. Okay, and again, use your shade technique. Here's your steam. Don't put your finger there, it's hot. Okay, so there's your second type of spout. All right, and now I think, just because I don't want to confuse you all, I'm going to flip this over and use this side of the paper, and I'm going to do just one more quick, like a water pitcher type of thing, just to show you a handle. I was drawing these the other night, and I found that as simple as they are, they're so much fun to draw. And they kind of calm you down if you're feeling anxious. I don't know, for me, that's what art does. It calms me down. And I don't know about you guys, but there have been several days where it feels kind of anxious. All right, so here I'm gonna do a quick little spout here, water jug. You can play around and make this however you want to, okay? I know it doesn't really look like a water pitcher, but okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead with that triangle technique because I really like that. Okay, and now for the handle. So over here, I'm gonna do a closed rectangle, okay? And then I'm going to connect a triangle, also closed, okay? So imagine that these two, you know, if you need to close them to make it easier for yourself, then do that. We can erase that later, okay? Now I'm going to draw from here to the middle of this triangle a long rectangle. Imagine that you can't see the rest of it. And then I'm going to finish it off with a little whoop. You see? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm leaving that line there. You can erase it or you can shade right over it. And now, because this is the back part of the inside, I'm going to make it a little darker. Oops, snap my lead. Don't color too hard, folks. Okay, and then like that. Okay, look at that. You just learned how to draw a handle. Kind of does look like a coffee pot, like an old coffee pot. I think my my aunt and uncle had one of these when I was a kid. At least it looks just like it. And I'm going to go ahead and put, because imagine that that's the lid. You'd need a way to pull the lid off, right, when the coffee is done. Coffee's ready, so you want a handle on there. A tiny little handle like that. And then you can just have fun with, you know, the shading. You can just color it in now. You can make it however you like. I'm just going quick here. I'm not even really, I just want you guys to be able to see, okay? And I'm just going to do a quick little rub over with my finger. If you've got a blending stick, some of you have those kinds of supplies, go ahead and use it. Take it out. If you've got different kinds of pencils with different kinds of lead, then go ahead and grab them. Have some fun with this. And just because we're making coffee here, I'm going to make a little coffee cup. That line right there in the middle helps me figure out where my where my bottom should be. Okay. How about a little saucer plate to go on it? Because, you know, if you're going to have coffee, not you shouldn't be having coffee. Let's just say it's hot chocolate, okay? But maybe there's some cookies nearby. Chocolate chip. Just saying, chocolate chip is good. You have whatever kind of cookies you like. Okay? Cool. You guys got it? So we've got the handle. Handle. Spout. Cup with cookies. And over here we've got our fruit salad, yummy yummy. And our 2 spouts. Okay? You guys got it? Awesome. Let me see your work. Show it to me. In the meantime, keep drawing, keep coloring, keep cutting things. well, cutting paper, cut paper out, make collages, do fun things. Post me your work, show me. Some of you guys have been showing me your work. I love it. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's see what you guys are making. Keep practicing, all right? All right, take care. See you soon.